Hello, I'm Eagle. Eagle Gardens. Eagle Gardens 1 on Instagram. This is Smiley's Gardens. And this is the rabbit hole. Oh, the wormhole. Damn, I'm already fucking this up.
Sorry, man. It's all good.
Man,
The wormhole's
you and
called.
Kino had an amazing episode tonight. I was so glad to be able. It's nice to sit in chat and be on the other side. Much needed today, that's for sure. Much needed.
Sorry, man. I don't see my notification popping up. Gotta get my chat rocking.
And
Are we popping in yet?
6, got 6 so far. 7 awesome people. This is an amazing community. I couldn't believe it. How well everybody came back today. I was terrified it was going to be nothing but crickets today. What's up, Rita? BX Gunner 81, Top Floor Genetics, Dirt Road Dude.
That's what I just gave you. Sorry. I was bringing up chat there.
Good old spiky pilots.
Oh, chat. Sungrown 707. Yeah, Spiky, Rita's. Surrounded by Keith. Dirt Road Dude. Top Floor Genetics. BX Gunner. Yeah, this is fun, man. I like hanging out with them guys, Kino and GMO, and all of them guys over on the panel. That's funny. It's
some smart guys over there.
Oh yeah, no doubt, man. And they're neat. It's interesting to hear the different perspectives on all this stuff, and it's cool. They're in a total different, you know what I mean? Total different world, total different perspectives. So
yeah, props for them from doing as much for the community as they do. Man, they're holding it down over there.
For real, man. Like I could understand what he was saying, that's kind of a full-time gig for him, because they do a lot, man. They're on there all the time. So yeah, and it improves their grow, it improves other people's grows, and it's shit like that made it possible for us to have the information we needed to grow. You know what I mean? Like that's the part people got to realize. Like, you know.
Howdy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say somebody's popping in. I don't know if it's Red Pill. What up, man?
Nothing much.
We gotta change your Samsung.
Howdy. What I have to come up with a catchphrase?
Yeah, we could. So how you doing, man? You have a good weekend?
Yeah. So far I had a good weekend. Yeah. Today wasn't so nice weather-wise, but yesterday was.
Yeah, we had a lot of sun today. It was nice.
Yeah. Didn't really mean anything, but just the only thing of newsworthy saying is someone called the cops on my dog yesterday.
On your dog? Why? Barking?
Kind of, but he doesn't bark. He only barks if someone's pounding on the front door, or if he sees a fox outside. It's the only time he actually like roof barks. When he wants something, he cries like a little baby. So someone said that they heard a dog in distress. That's at least what the cops came by and said. That's just how he acts.
That's funny.
I think it's just now having a pit bull, I can kind of see where people come from, and it seems like there's a lot of people that just don't like pit bulls. So.
Oh, is that what you got as a pit bull?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're different, man. I mean, I don't know. I guess terriers, so like pit bulls are terrier or whatever, but My buddy CJ has a beautiful dog, man. He's the coolest dog. But you're right. A lot of people freak out thinking he's a pit bull or whatever, but it's like no.
That was the first time someone actually called it cows, but people have threatened to. Like,
It's funny he said he cries. I like some of the breeds of dogs where they like talk to you, you know?
yeah,
I have a German Shepherd Lab mix. She'll do it a little bit, but like some of the Huskies and stuff, I guess, are known for that, where they really get to talking.
mm-hmm.
It's funny, like roar, roar, roar. They'll have conversations with you and shit.
That's basically him.
I love you.
Yeah.
You get him to do that.
Exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah,
Like Scooby Doo. Everything's like a Ruby this and a Ruby that.
yeah. Row.
Yeah. Oh, I'm touching up.
What's up, Cheddar Bob?
Not a whole lot. I got a 4-hour nap for the shows. Here I
Nice.
like I said in the show, I was watching last night's show, and I had to go do something. And by the time I came back, it was gone. And then I saw you post your thing, and I was like, "Oh no, what happened? What did I miss?"
Yeah, if you look at that post, it was like edited.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah.
Everybody was jumping on in the morning, like, what did I miss? What did I miss? Nothing. No, they didn't catch it right away. It's done. That's funny.
Is she gonna?
Oh, you're breaking up really bad, Cheddar Bob. I don't know if there's a better connection there or something for you, but
Might be the table. How's that?
better, yeah, way better.
I'm still very much at a loss for words to describe last night's episode. You know, very much so.
He's got a smile.
You know,
Man. I don't know what else he can do.
like smiling turned purple. It was like a light bulb that just was like a mood light bulb that went from red to blue to purple. It was interesting nonetheless. I
think the situation to describe it, Cheddar Bob, was like if you were introduced to a new person and you're like, hey, here's this speed bag, you know, and it's this inconspicuous little girl, you don't think much about it, and she just tears the fuck out of the speed bag, like
Oh, okay.
that was the equivalent of what just happened. Except the speed bag was Eagle's face.
Yeah. Huh. I wish I were there for it. I enjoy a good dust up.
Yeah.
it was nice. She found out the flaw in my interviewing strategy was basically not being prepared. And once that was let out, she's like took my secret weapon and used it for like an ass puppet. And that was another take that by 2.5 hours. And
Eagle squirming.
it was, I'm sure, entertaining to watch at some levels, but I struggled to get through it. And in the end, you know, I don't know. I didn't know. I'm still on the fence on if that episode should be aired. I mean, there's only certain, I don't know.
You should charge it all
to be.
Right.
Charge it all to watch.
You gotta sign up for Patreon.
In Patreon episodes.
We built up the preview for it. Harvey's got to pay to see it, Eagle.
Yeah.
That's
Eagle's version of Two Girls, One Cup.
Yeah, that's a good description of it too. Pretty good shit, though, for sure.
Oh, man.
It's all fun and games, man. All fun and games. Man, Cheddar Bob, you have a good weekend? Said you were waking up.
I think so.
That's good.
Is it even the weekend? I don't know. It's all the weekend for me, man.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. I got no. So
What do you guys like, have an off season or some shit?
No, I just chose not to go back to fishing and kind of focus on cannabis. So I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
So I make my own schedule and I.
AKA unemployed.
Oh no, no, I'm very much employed, but I'm employed on my own schedule.
He's a fisherman.
Yeah. I still go out lobstering if someone needs some help or something, but I figure I can make just as much money growing cannabis as I can beating my body up day after day after day. I'm not getting any younger, so.
Well, that's a dangerous profession too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's doing the Lord's work.
Yeah,
it's much deeper than the Lord, man.
That's funny.
Yeah, I played a lot of golf this weekend.
Oh yeah, is it warming up, you guys?
No, we play indoor golf this time of year. My buddy has a set up, a spare room that we play in, so it's pretty
He's
sweet.
got the whole setup with the screen. You actually hit the
I
ball.
just imagine a bunch of drywall with holes in it.
Oh no, he's a metal worker, so he's got like a huge shop, and he's got this side room that he cleared out, and so it's all like cinder block stuff. So he set up nets and a tarp screen, like a little box, like I don't know, probably like 1.5 feet tall, and you just swing away. It's pretty awesome. It's super accurate. Funny enough, very, very accurate for being such a small little system.
Yeah, that's cool. I've played on one before. It's different, but yeah, they say it picks up pretty well where your shot would have gone and stuff, and the trajectory of it just from that short distance.
Yeah, I remember playing back in the 90s when that stuff really was first just coming out, and I thought it was awesome. And now the stuff they have is like, oh man, it's incredible. Like they have like 15 different cameras, this little tiny box that picks up the spin, the trajectory, the club head speed. It's like, what?
That's wild, man.
Yeah. And it's
Software
weird.
is made by the U.S. military.
We were out in Vegas and they got that golf game out there where you like, I don't know, there's like different levels to it, and it's like a driving range, but it's like a point system. You golfer, like you're playing a game. I didn't do it, but you see it. But there's like different baskets and shit around, and it's like a big dome. So it's not like you're driving it really far, but you're trying to chip it and make it into these different points of baskets or whatever that are down there.
Yeah.
Like if you miss, it's like it's almost like skee ball, I'm imagining, or something. But I thought that's a pretty fucking wild concept, ain't it?
They have some in other countries that are like, they have like these giant screens that they hit into, and they have like different platforms, just like parking garages, basically, of people hitting golf balls. It's pretty crazy.
Greetings, my cannabis warriors. How are you?
What's up, Angus?
Bingus.
How are you?
Yes.
Oh, trouble has arrived.
Yes, man, I'm ready. I'm ready, Cheddar Bob. I'm out to prove that you're not the only asshole on the panel.
The goose is loose.
Well, I was for a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Good one. Eagle, Smiley, Red.
Cheers.
I guess that makes me a saint, right, Angus?
Yes, sir. I like to give Cheddar Bob a little hassle because he can take it.
Hey, easy there.
See?
My dad used to say, Cedric, you're about as useless as an asshole right here.
Elbow cough.
Same fucking look after saying it.
Elbow cough.
right here.
My old man used to tell me, he goes, if you ain't screwing up, you ain't doing anything. And son, you're doing plenty.
My dad would tell me stop lollygagging.
Oh, lolly. Yes, that was a good one. Knuckle sandwiches. Those were good.
Oh, yeah.
You ever hear "think, don't stink"?
Work smarter, not harder.
Yes, sir.
That was always a good one.
Cheers, chat. Thank you. Yes, Stony Baker. I'll try to be nice. I'll try not to piss anybody off and make them leave and cry. Sorry.
On Vegas, what fun is that?
Well, I mean, at least I'll give it a rest. How's that?
Just be subtle about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. More passive.
Great job tonight, Smiley, man. You fucking did a good job.
What? I was just hanging out talking to one of my peers in the industry. Though.
Did good.
Those are the best interviews, man.
Yeah, dude. I mean that, man. Kino and them guys are fucking awesome. They're doing a lot of cool shit.
They're fun to listen to. I can't quite understand GMO. He has a thick accent. I can't quite.
Some of them do. K-Bag's one that's got a pretty thick accent.
Yeah, Kino, too. He's cool. Kino I can hear pretty well, but the other couple of them, I'm like, what did they just say?
It's funny though, man. Like the more you hang out and the more you listen to it, you almost kind of pick up on it. You know what I mean? It's like it takes you a minute at first, but it's weird how your brain all of a sudden like you just hear it after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's funny. But I enjoy it, man. It's cool. All the different angles and cast of characters over there too. There's no difference, man. We're not different. It's funny. That's as funny as it is. I mean, all around the world, right? We're not fucking. There's about 10 different things, maybe. Fucking, you know, it's like shit. At the core, we're not different at all.
Oh shit.
Pothead, man, and we all fucking growers, fucking a grower, right? We all came across the seed at one point, and we're like, holy shit, fuck, grow this bitch out. And that's how it started.
There are evolutionary stages to being a grower, though.
There is?
I think so.
I think so too. Some people jump right in, but yeah, I guess I understand. Start out with one light.
Well, I'm having trouble.
Take your earmuffs off.
With my settings, guys. Forgive me.
We're all in trouble.
Speaker. There we go. There we go. Somebody say something.
Hello.
Okay. God, fuck.
Something.
I clicked the wrong button somewhere and I had to. Computer shit. Sorry.
No, that's fine, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's good, everybody? I mean, you know, everybody
Okay.
doing good.
We're just waiting on Red Pill to say something smart.
Okay. Yeah, I was pondering.
Which smart thing he wanted to discuss next?
He did too. He was looking
You can see that you can read my face now at this point. So
Going checklist.
I did want to say something that one of the things I picked up on towards the end when you were talking about with Kino, with drying and then turning it into RSO. I wondered, because you take so much measure in drying it and preserving the terpenes, if you'd be willing to do a essential oil distillation in between the steps. And then you can recombine the essential oil and the RSO into a million different products in different ratios.
I'm sure he would, man. He sounded like he was down to experiment and all of it, which I think is cool. He wants to try it. He wants to fucking have the experience of doing it.
Which did lead me into my next thought is I really need to start doing some steam distillation tutorials.
Steam distillation?
Please.
I think more people, the only thing I think that's holding people back is not just because they don't want to do it, but just because it's like a whole nother apparatus or device that they got to get to turn, what they yield into a whole nother product. But I would think if someone just tried it once, they wouldn't go back. And then you would see a whole lot of people fucking around with that.
Yeah, man. I've not seen the steam distillation. I mean, I understand the process because I've seen it in essential oils, but I've not seen it in cannabis. Is what I mean. Like,
Right.
that's dope. Do it. Do it.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Well, if there's anyone interested in it, definitely hit me up on my Instagram. So if I could help anyone do it that has the access to that,
Have any of you an ultrasonic cleaner to make tinctures with?
you can do that too. That's I don't know. I've seen those devices too. I think it was oil and flour. Or no, it wasn't. It was someone was. Now I'm thinking it was a Canadian. Oh boy, someone was explaining those ultrasonic things to clean all their utensils and dab tools and other shit like that. But yeah, with ultrasonics, you can put in alcohol and cannabis and come off with something that doesn't have any chlorophyll in it. The only other way to do that is how I explained in doing it with sub-zero temperatures and alcohol. But if you have a
Are you ripping people's spines out?
yeah, no, but you can do it with ultrasonic or subsonic. I'm late. Damn, it just hit me. Sub-zero.
We already know you.
Mortal Kombat. I haven't ripped anyone's spine out. I had my own spine fused and twined in with titanium, but
Sounds delicious.
no, yeah, the supersonic or I guess ultrasonic achieves the same thing. You can get a tincture that you don't have to dissolve. You won't have chlorophyll in your finished product.
Basically, it uses was it cavitation, mini ultrasonic bubbles that travel up and then explode the trichomes instead of bursting the cell structures and the chlorophyll, releasing the chlorophyll into the liquid. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It comes out looking kind of like cloudy, like not transparent, but translucent. Looks like they're
Do you have
looks
to
like
filter it?
nope. I mean, well, yeah, you have to filter the flour out, but yeah.
So
Yeah, because I've seen people go to the extreme measure of using liquid nitrogen to actually freeze alcohol, get alcohol a solid at negative 173 degrees. And then they literally mix flour with solid alcohol, throw a thermometer in there, and then when it gets to negative 40, that's when they filter it. And they get like a almost shatter looking product after they rotovap off the alcohol.
Dude, I could listen to you talk about this shit all day, Red.
Well, that's what I mean. I would really like to, at least do some type of tutorials, especially the steam distillation one, because like I said, I would have a feeling that as soon as someone did it the first time, they want it again, and now they have access to it. Now they know exactly what to do. And then it can open up other doors too, because now breeders have another tool that they don't have to worry about a laboratory testing the amount of terpenes with. They can do their own steam distillation runs and have the yields and percentages right there in their face, and then you can say you have 10 different cultivars and you do it, the steam distillation, all of them, you're going to find ones that you're only yielding 1 or 2 milligrams or milliliters off of, and then you're going to have ones that you're having 6 or 10 milliliters off of, say like 100 grams of flour.
how much flour do you do at a time? That was my question.
Well, the two easiest setups is one that they convert like a pressure cooker type thing to. It has the clamps on the top, but the only difference is it has like a neck in the middle of it. And that neck either connects to a glass apparatus that has like a cold finger condenser sticking in it. And then it has like a little valve, a little pour off valve at the bottom. So you prefix a little bit of water in there, and then you have a cold finger condenser. So the only thing boiling inside this pressure, what was a pressure cooker, is either you're doing hydro distillation, where this wouldn't be the case in weed. It would be like more in the case of like citrus or lavender, where you can actually put the botanical in the water itself. But for cannabis, you're going to need either a little separator that holds the, the bud above the water. So the actual boiling water isn't infused with the weed itself. It's just the steam carrying it. So, and then other people have more of, I wouldn't say, I'll just say low tech, they use copper wire, and then they'll feed a coil of copper wire through like a bucket of ice. And then that copper wire pours off the hydrosol and essential oil at the same time. So when you do have the little glass setup connected to it, it's actually like a graduated cylinder and has the milligrams written on it, and has, like I said, a little pour off valve. So when you put a little bit of water in there first, what happens is the hydrosol mixes with the water that you put in there, and the oil layer grows on top. So it's constantly, the steam is constantly being fed to the condenser. The condenser is condensing, dripping it straight down on top of this thing. And most everyone goes off the rate of 1 drop per second. If you're getting less than 1 drop per second, you can crank up the heat on the boiling flask. If you're getting more than 1 drop per second, you can lower it. And then it also has to do with where you can see condensation on the glass, and you can, measure it or dial it in so you're getting the best rate of distillation at the time. But for cannabis's sake, everyone, kind of comes away with the numbers everywhere between like 1 and 10% total terpenes. So it's a pretty efficient distillation. It's technically, when you do steam distillation, it's not called a extract. Extracts more defined as using solvents, but when you do steam distillation, it's still effective enough to get just about 100% of what's there. So like I said, if you did have a round number to start off with, if you did have a chamber, or if you had more of a smaller setup, it's all glass, and then you would have just like a glass bubble that they call the botanical flask. Maybe you can only fit like an ounce in there, so you'd get a lot less. So that would just be done for experimental things, because you could never come away with any type of commercial yield off of one of those really small.
I mean, that's like an essential oil distillation. I've seen that, but are you getting the THC cannabinoids through that process?
No. The way it works is on the molecular weight, and THCA is just past the molecular weight that can be passed off through steam.
So then you have a terpene-less flower left.
You're left over with, in this case, like I said, it could be intermediate between RSO, because everything besides terpenes is still left there in the flower. You could theoretically finish the because you will partially decarboxylate the THC and other cannabinoids that are there, but you can
Isn't that what Eagle was talking about?
Yeah, a few episodes back, some guy selling the terpeneless
with me.
I think so.
I think we were talking. All right.
Sorry. Go ahead, Eagle.
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, that was what I was talking about that night, Cheddar.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, I was like, this sounds familiar. I don't know about terpene-less flower. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna buy that on a mass scale, but it might be usable in a.
You would have to put it in a joint, because if you saw what's left after this, even if, like I said, you dried it off in an oven, those buds are going to be like, it's going to be visibly less bag appeal than brickweed. So you'd have to roll it in joints and convince people that, it's a pre-rolled joint and it's terpeneless, and no one will call you out for smoking the weed out in public, that kind of thing. So what I would say is that, like I said, this is just an intermediate of getting to isolate the terpenes in their pure fraction before you go on to decarboxylating it and then making it into RSO. Whereas if you were to do that, terpenes are either diminished or decompromised in that process. So this way, you get the whole steam distilled terpenes, just terpenes. Then you do the RSO and you get just cannabinoids. And then depending on what you want to put that in, either like a capsule or a tincture or a bath balm or like ointments or anything like that, you would do different ratios of the terpenes to
cannabis. I gotta see this. I can't. I mean, it sounds. I just want to see. I learn better by watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I was gonna say too, the byproduct that's what you put in pre-rolls.
That's what they put in pre-rolls anyways.
Right? They distill it.
Terpene-less weed. That's what you
Yeah.
get.
And come on, let's be honest about it. Pre-rolls suck.
Yeah.
My
As
buddies.
I'm
But I don't know. Like, I think there would be a better purpose for it, you know, instead of giving it to the masses to ingest. Like, I don't know, if you want to take the terpenes out and make RSO, like, do that. You know, don't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that would be a better purpose for it than pre-rolls.
Yeah.
They're trying to get rid of their waste. My buddy down in Southern Oregon, who has a huge hemp farm, has just developed a hemp pre-roll. It's all really very nicely packaged, which tells me it's shit.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's got to be shit, right?
It's got to be
So,
packaged.
yeah. Fuck. I've never. Have you ever had a? I've never bought a pre-roll. Never smoked one. Don't ever go there at all.
I mean, I have a couple times just because they were there. I didn't
Nothing
really
else.
buy a whole bag or anything. You know, I was just there for a little bit, so I was like, whatever. But yeah, I mean, no. See vacuum.
What? Do I
Steve-
vacuum?
Sounds like he's vacuum.
Little
I
bit.
try to keep my room clean. Yes. Sure.
It sounds like someone's vacuuming.
Oh, I have my fans going. I should probably mute myself. That's why I have trouble hearing in here. Is because I'm in my bedroom and you know
What's that?
I'm in my bedroom, so
What's that?
fucking
Fucking with you. He's fucking with you.
I like the cheddar pop.
Isn't that why you had? That must have been why you had your earmuffs on.
But then, dude, my glasses get indented into my head, and it feels like they're, you know, it's like I need to move out of my bedroom. I think.
Got 99 problems, and you keep adding one.
Yeah, I do. 99 bottles of beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Take one down and pass it around. 98 bottles of beer on the wall. Play that one?
Yeah, we've heard that one.
I played that one, but I never finished.
Good point, right? Okay.
GMO, cheers.
Yeah.
Right. So
For kids.
No, I didn't want to just drop a smart bomb again. I was waiting for someone else.
No, I like your smart bombs. Then we can talk about them.
They're better than the
Oh, boy.
fart bombs.
I was gonna say you should start an OnlyFans for your tutorials.
Ooh. Naked steam distillations?
No, just call yourself the big,
I'm pretty sure you don't have to be naked on OnlyFans. It's just up to you to whatever.
the big
All right.
red
I'm not
the big red pill or something, you know. Too big to swallow.
all right, I don't want to give ego PTSD.
His name's really Rod, but
Yeah.
you call him Red Pill.
Right, now the name's taken. Okay, hey, I did want to say something else. I don't want to keep going on about the essential oils just for how you get to them, but and this maybe not be could or could not be applied for cannabis terpenes. I'll just start with if it could be. You know, they started making them now. They always had them, but if you see like those little like Glade plug-in things that they say they're essential oils, you know, just plug it in your outlet and it just whatever fumigates or evaporates essential oils.
It's called a diffuser, isn't it?
Yeah, you seen the little one. There's like one that's just for an outlet though, you right?
Yeah.
Plug in. Well, what I thought, and maybe this is another crazy thought, you can stack this one up with the ones I usually think of, is what if someone were to make a cannabis essential oil plug-in that's devoted to the same essential oils you would put in for IPM, right? So now you don't really have to spray your plants.
So you're not saying cannabis essential oil, you're just saying essential
could
oils
be.
that are beneficial for IPM.
It could be that, like, just say I didn't want to name brand, but like the plant therapy stuff.
Right.
You could do that, a plant therapy plug-in, or if you figured out you had a strain of cannabis itself that was pretty tolerant to insects, then theoretically maybe you could use that essential oil profile in these little plug-ins and then fume the room up smelling like that, and the bugs don't want to come anywhere near the garden.
Well, I want to say there was somebody talking, it might have been Abolished Farms actually that was talking about it. I think he runs one of them where you put like it's not a candle, but it's like a wax, and then it melts away.
Well, I have those. That's literally what I use to make the house smell nice. They're little wax cubes, and it's just like a little light bulb. The plate sits on the light bulb.
Yep. Yeah, that's kind of what my take was. And he had one that he put in his room, and that idea of like an IPM, like having a lavender or a thyme or something in it or a mixture or whatever.
It's basically the exact same theory, but my whole theory of that is maybe it's more efficient because, well, maybe it's not as efficient, but you don't have to spray actually anything at all on the plants. It's literally just dispersed in the air surrounding the plants. The bugs have to pass through that to get to the plant. They have to be pretty damn in need of that plant to go through whatever it is that we spray on them that they don't like. They're going to fly through the air with all those little particles flying around. You know, I would think it would make it more difficult for in the best. Maybe, you know, this doesn't always work. We know with.
Let me just throw this at you. So in the wild, if there was whatever lavender thyme plant there, do you think that would be the same effect as having? I mean, do you think having that plant growing near your
companion plants
keep those away? Because it'd be similar, right? Wouldn't it just be like, okay, there's a thyme plant somewhere close to it, but in this case,
I would think that there's already a lot of people that do that are probably convinced that that's why they're having less pest problems because they're companion plants. But me, I was thinking this is more of an artificial situation indoor where plants necessarily don't have to be there. And that's what I mean by I can't speculate if it would be more efficient or less efficient. All I would know is the same effect as like anything else we try to get bugs away from, right? If you don't want mosquitoes, you spray yourself with fucking mosquito repellent so they don't come near you. That doesn't always work. It does, I guess, to some variable degree, measurable degree. Maybe it's just one extra thing that helps, you know, or maybe it's the actual remedy, the cure. Who knows? Like I said, maybe you can use more higher concentrations of it because, like I'm saying, you don't have to spray it on the plants. It's just in the air. Maybe there's some kind of contamination from plant stomata taking it up through the air. I don't know, you know, but.
I just want to say hi to Cass and this guy. This guy down here, I don't know this guy.
Sus and Cass. How'd that work out that both of you guys popped in at once? That's almost a tongue twister. Right?
It is a tongue twister.
Cheers, you guys.
Good to see you.
Hey, what's happening, everyone?
Good to see you, man.
All right, now I can talk less. Thank you, guys.
Also, we also got Towel popping in. I almost want to go back to hiding behind the camera. I got a feeling Towel's got the Raz coming.
Oh, I can pretty much sit back and relax now.
The American one. What's up, brother?
Hello, Eagle, Smiley, Red Pill, Cheddar Bob, Bingus, Cass, and Says. Let's grow. How's everybody doing tonight?
See how a professional does it?
There you go.
And chat.
Awesome.
Everyone in chat. Good to see everyone. No worries, boss.
It's so
So
funny that our name, mine and Cass's name is pretty freaking close. My name is actually pronounced kind of like hers. It's pronounced Kess. There's no. I used to always say there's no ass in my name because everybody wants to call me Cass when there's no ass in my name. But it's funny that she's on here.
all right, now I know better. I thought it was, let's see, it was like a, Sus, but we got it, Kess. All right, so Kess and Cass.
Look, I still don't believe this shit, but I heard it in an English class. The way that my name is pronounced is because I comes before E except after a C, so that E makes a different sound. It's almost like cat. It's C-A-T. There's a vowel there. You don't spell it with a K, but it still has that pronunciation of a K.
Is that an English name though?
Oh no, it's really weird. I was told when I was younger that it was a Scandinavian name, but the more I looked into it and the read of the availability of the internet, most people that have my name are Asian women, which I am neither.
How's your jaw feeling, man? Weren't you jacked up just the other day?
Interesting.
It still is. It still is. It's feeling a lot better.
What, you said the wrong thing to an Asian woman? She clocked you?
Yeah, she took care of the rest of my teeth for me.
Yeah, you're looking way better than you did the last time I saw you, brother. You had a towel on your face. Now you're smiling and grinding.
Shit. Good to see that.
Yeah, I actually just came home. What was it? 2 weeks ago, I was on Green Bicycles, and we were doing bud washing. The show happened to be going on while we were bud washing, so I did showed how I do my bud washing. And I just got home from actually doing some trim. We're almost done with the GMO, and it's looking really good. It's probably one of the better ones that I've seen here lately. It's really beautiful, really terpy. It's definitely got that garlic on the exhale of the smoke, and then a little bit later you start getting. I don't know why. I don't think it's mushroom and onion that the GMO stands for, but it does have that dirty motor oil kind of gritty taste to it.
It's all gas. GMO isn't garlic, mushroom, onion. Yeah.
It's not a dinner treat. Okay, good.
No, it's all onion funk.
Can't wait to see that.
Yeah. Oh, it's looking really good. The guy actually said he wants to enter it into the cup event, which is in August. I'm like, are you really going to hold on to this that long? He's got the cut. I'm like, grow another one. You'll have another harvest before the cup event.
Let's smoke it.
Yeah.
Well, if it isn't, maybe it's not as good as yours, though.
Oh, I don't have a GMO. I wish I had. GMO.
You work or something?
It was it's a friend of mine's, and he had already he brought the plants over to my place to do the bud washing and drying because his room had already been reset because we harvested the rest of the room and it's been reset and cleaned, so he didn't have a place to really go and do his drying. So I have a facility already here, so we brought it here and did the bud washing in the process.
I just harvested a GMO. Came out really nice. Smaller flowers, but the terp profile is just as I remembered it. Just like you said, that garlic note on the exhale, like it's like a roasted garlic too, not like a fresh mixed garlic. It's gone through the oven, it's gone through the oil, it's gone through the heat. It's that blackened sort of.
Yeah.
That's what the other guy said. When I said like that gritty motor oil, he said that he was thinking of more like a caramelized when you do onions, like you were saying, but the caramelized burnt stuff from the steak and the onions, that caramelizing that happens in there, that's what it did. It had that taste on it.
I meant garlic. I said onion. I know that. I realized it when he said garlic.
Hey, Cass, you going to give us your name history and where it derives from and all that?
Yeah.
Is it Cassidy or no? Or you don't want to tell? You don't got to tell.
Well, my first name is definitely Cass, and And then it's short for a name that's longer than Cass. Absolutely. So there's that part. I am pretty sure that my mother's Irish. Yeah. But yeah, my first name is Cass. It's CAS. The reason that this started like this is because on Instagram I tried to make my my screen name Cass, right? And then they're like, no, that's unavailable. And so then I typed Cass again, and they were like, no, you just can't have Cass. So I kept typing Cass until Instagram gave me a green check, and so I had that Instagram, and then I like put an advertisement for hemp flower that I grew in Colorado. I was like, yeah, hemp flower, $125 a pound. And then I got shadow banned on that Instagram. So I made a new
you
one.
had to change it again.
Yeah. So now my Instagram is just Miss Cass, and then I still have this one, Cass. So it's just, if you see like Cass and Cass, yeah, that's me. Hi. It's Cass.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it is good to see you.
I got some seeds here. You guys want to see?
Wow.
Those look pretty fat.
Yes.
I'm about to put these seeds. These are some hemp strains that I bred. I'm about to put these guys in some water, get them started for this year to go outside. To be beautiful babies.
You made those outside, right?
Mm-hmm. No, these
Yeah.
I made inside.
Oh,
I made these
really?
inside for outside.
They look healthy and fat, man. Good work.
Got plenty.
I'm actually about to go grab the water bottles right now. Yay.
You're gonna start all those? How many?
Lots.
Lots.
Yeah, I'd say.
Lots. Whole bunch.
Lots.
Whole bunch of beanie weenies in there for sure. Gonna get it done. Some good work done for sure. It's gonna be a beautiful year. We've got so much moisture. Oh my gosh, we got so much moisture, you guys. Have you guys gotten lots of moisture where you guys are?
Dude, in Oregon, it's just, you can watch the moss grow between your toes and you stand outside long enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's moist here.
It went from 50 degrees when I fell asleep to snowing 4 hours later when I woke up. So, yeah, it's very good.
Right now, it's pretty damn dry where I am.
You see Colorado got all that snow? It's like dumping.
Damn.
I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Is it because of the snow that you're all humid there in Texas now, or what?
It was 70 degrees today. It'll be 70 degrees tomorrow too, and the next day.
Yeah, that sounds.
I think
good.
we're gonna get a frost the next couple of days over here.
I think we have 4 inches of snow we're expecting. Unless if you count snow as moisture, yeah.
Are you into Canada, Red Pill?
Hell no. Nothing against you Canadians.
What country is that? Canada?
Minnesota.
I'm in my own world over here.
Yeah,
Truly, especially and with this COVID, I'm in my own. I don't know,
We
man.
just want in.
There you go.
That
Everybody's
answer
going
came
in.
super fast, Red Pill. Super fast. It was almost instantaneous. Hell no.
Yeah, yeah, really. Some Canadian did him wrong, apparently.
No comment on that.
Well, it's good to see you, Bingus, too. It's good to see all you guys, not just the Cass.
Cass is looking wonderful as always. It's good to have. I like the ladies that show up there.
A softer touch, yeah.
I like the ladies that show up there. They're very cool. Cass takes
Yeah.
enormous
Good
dab
finger.
hits, man. Enormous dab hits. I just like, wow, how can you even do that? Sorry, Cheddar, what?
I was
What?
gonna say, it's good, Bingus, because we're starting to think you hated women. So
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
No, man, I love women. That's my biggest hang up, brother. That's all I can tell you.
sorry, I couldn't help it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones
I lived in San Francisco for a while. That was enough for me.
Oh,
9 months.
He got his full of gayness. He's
San
done with it
Francisco,
now.
it's worse than Canada.
Your fingers.
I wasn't even talking that. I was just
Full of gayness.
Oh, Smiley.
Jeez.
My problem is I love the women too much. Too much.
I don't know, man. You get up over 3 of them around you, and it gets
Juggling is
a little
hard.
questionable sometimes. You start questioning that love and devotion there. Gets a little harder.
Oh, no.
Especially when you realize that they all have their thing at the same time, and they all get grumpy at the same time.
That's what a calendar's for. You have to.
Yeah, no shit. No shit. You come home. That's when you come home and your alarm goes off, or your calendar goes off on your phone.
And turn right around.
Turn right around, back up, go to
Got
your
to the
parents' house or
bar.
some shit.
Comes back in freaking 3 hours when she's passed out.
I was going to say, pack the truck up, go on a camping trip.
You want
Right.
to do the back rubs and making lunch and things like that. Just saying.
You don't got to be sorry. If I ever try to make a joke, everyone just talk over me.
Sorry. What was that joke again? I missed it. I'm sure.
You're going to want to hop in a truck and load it up with a bunch of camping gear. Make a little vacation out of it.
Good one.
Not too bad
Thank
idea.
you, brother.
Fishing trip.
Yeah.
That's how fishing trips were invented. Pretty sure.
I think so. That has to be a cave.
Pretty sure. Pretty sure that's how deer hunting season was invented too. You guys get the picture, right? Like, they all seem to fall in these certain weeks of the month. I don't know.
Maybe aligned with the phases of the moon.
That's funny shit.
You know, there is a lot of ancient texts where blood is used. You know, blood meal is very good for plants.
Yeah.
Very good.
I have a phlebotomist
That's a
coming in.
gross
That's
fucking
That's
segue.
called the movie.
I just want to say that is a gross fucking segue, dude.
There's some
I
things I'm
made-
thankful that I don't say. It
That
comes
was
out
a
of
good
someone else.
effort, though.
Anyway,
All right, blood meal.
Yeah. Do you guys don't give your plant? Like I cut my wrist and put a pint of blood in every plant.
Feed me, Seymour.
getting into it, brother.
Dude, man, they like it.
You
Smiley.
better tell somebody you're kidding, dude. That's
I'm kidding. Yes, I'm kidding out there in chat land. Crazy,
somebody's out there.
crazy kids out there. with
I
a-
said it works.
I got the scalper. It looks great.
I use rabbit
Uh,
composted.
You're breaking up. What?
that's good. It's better than.
I use rabbit blood because it doesn't have to be composted.
There you go.
We're going right back to
Sure
Babylon.
does.
Count.
That's what they
Tao.
did. They would make sacrifices so their crops grow.
There's a lot of ancient texts like that, and the cycles of the moons and the ceremonies and the rituals and the whole 9 yards. It's quite interesting.
Cass using the bottled water for the seeds is very good. See, she knows how special cannabis is.
Is it
Bottled
Evian?
water really runs pretty high, doesn't it? Like above 8.
That Evian water does. That Fiji water does.
I
Is
think
that why that Fiji tastes funny? Fiji's
Yeah,
the
man.
only water that has like a taste to me. You know what I'm saying? It kind of does.
Fiji tastes funny because it's in a bottle.
I refuse to buy Evian just because it says naive backwards.
Dumb fucks. But no, I think spring water is a good. Like if it's spring water, it's got to be a good pH. No. What do you got there, Dingus?
That's what
I mean,
Earth needs.
no, not necessarily.
It's from the
Yeah,
spring.
that's right. Not necessarily.
I have 5 gallons delivered to my house once a month. It's cheap,
Well,
and it's
Along with sacrificial crop growing ceremonies, we can all go out and do a rain dance. together. I'm sure that's one way.
You know, you're on fire, Rick.
Thank you.
We got to get the snare drum out. Ring it.
I'm down for that. I'm so down for drum circles.
Oh yeah, Red Pill, you're gonna
That
go
is
on stage,
cool.
right? We got to get Red Pill on stage once. That's his one of your goals, right? Was to do stand up.
Exactly.
Probably ever since I was 11 years old, I've toyed with the idea, and probably since the age of 27. I know this is all just yesterday, right? But anyways,
Next
it's
year
been
for me.
something I wanted to do, yeah, for a while, for sure.
And you never did it? You never went up like in front of people and tried?
Well, what I want to recreate with something here now in like the present time is what I used to do almost every single day during English class during 6th grade. And we had a thing where you have to like write a little journal, and either the teacher would tell you what the topic was, or it would be like a freestyle type thing. And all the kids would just be so like unmotivated to do it. They'd be like, nah, just write a sentence or something. And I would always get super excited, and I would fill out the front page and back page of a loose leaf, like in 20 minutes, of this story that just popped in my head. And I would go up in front of the class and read it, because she would always ask, does anyone want to share their journal? And then I would always be excited to go up there, read the whole fucking thing, and people would literally be falling out of their seats laughing. And I could show a yearbook signing where someone references that, like, dude, I used to love it when you would tell your stories. So I think if I had that ability at one time in life, it's worth trying to do now again. And you know,
What's
Red
that?
Pill.
What was that show you were saying that you wanted to get on?
Kill Tony.
Thank you.
Go find that notebook from 6th grade and give us some fucking golden nuggets, dude.
Yeah, I need to, right?
Do you still got some?
No, a lot, no physical copies of it. It sucks. A lot of my like old artwork, like I used to, like I had 2 or 3 things that were like, okay, I had a self-portrait that someone liked for whatever reason. I don't know why, right? But that got in some kind of like art show. And they had like a little 5th grade type thing, and I got into the city newspaper for it, where all the 5th grade kids in the school district had to draw like an outline of a dog. It was just like a sheet of paper with the outline of a sitting dog, and it was up to you to draw whatever you wanted inside the dog, make the dog whatever you wanted. Well, I made this. I can go find pictures of it and share them with you guys, but from the I don't have the physical copy of it. The person that had it wouldn't give it to me, of course, but I have pictures of the newspaper article where it shows like the top pictures people voted on out of all the kids in this, our 5th grade school district. And for whatever reason at that time, I was really into hieroglyphs and Egyptian stuff. And the same time in 5th grade, we had like an accelerated reading course.
Were you ever keep your lunch money, dude?
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. I'm just playing with you.
I heard lunch money. What was that?
I said, were you ever able to keep your lunch money?
Yeah, don't worry about that fucking whatever vibes I'm throwing off of. Yeah, I never got my lunch money taken. So, but anyways, this thing, I was really into Egyptian shit at this time in 5th grade. And I put like I knew my initials and hieroglyphs, and I drew like this weird like now would be really dope, like Illuminati art. I drew like a sun with an all-seeing eye inside of it. And then I drew like a pedestal with a dude like in a fucking robe holding up like an Alibaba curvy sword. And I drew a bunch of people beneath him like bowing down in like robes and stuff. And I drew like the Sphinx in the background, but for whatever reason, the people really liked that. They did an article on it or whatever. They did. It was like 3 other kids that they did too, but it's like 4 out of hundreds of kids in 5th grade in the school district. But all that art, a lot of when I was really into writing stuff down and drawing, a lot of it got flooded in my grandparents' basement. still do got one. I got upstairs. I think I got one etching I did, which was like it's like copper with like a black sheet of cardboard, construction paper over the top, and you take like a little X-Acto knife and you like etch out the cardboard and let the copper underneath show it. And I drew a cheetah or a leopard, some spotted cat, like laying down with his paw in front of his face, like his whiskers and stuff. And it was like shaded to where like one half the side of the picture, I barely did any etching. And then the other side, I did most of the etching. So it looked like the light was coming from one angle. And I told my mom when that flood happened to try and go and retrieve anything that she could find in that basement. And the only two things she could find was like a little, whatever you call it, that like plaster mold. I think it was like in either 5th or 6th grade. I made like it's on a wooden block and it's on like a little stand and it's like a plaster and spray painted mold of like a piranha or like a little ancient, piranha looking fish that I made. And then the other thing was that etching. And I didn't even believe that the etching was mine because my memory kind of forgot about it. I was showing it to me and I'm like, no, that's like that's a printing of like a photo that someone edited to make it look like that. And she's like, no, it's not. Look, it's got your initials in it. And then I look in the bottom corner and it's got my initials autographed on it. I'm like, oh, fuck, I forgot. I totally made this. I'm probably going to find that sometime, or like I said, the newspaper articles or any of that. But no, I don't have any. A lot of the, I'll just finish up with this. My number one memorabilia thing that I wish I still had that my dad was for some reason kind of ashamed of and he made me throw away. And I wish he didn't because it would show a lot. This would be a really good thing to show and kind of have like it's my own like cannabis memorabilia thing. It's like the oldest predated thing I had to like show how into cannabis I was at such an early date. But in high school, we got away with doing it was like a magazine or a newspaper class. It was like a electoral or English credit type of class. But anyways, one of the assignments in the class was making our own magazine. And we had a really cool teacher and all the other kids were like, okay, we'll just do something basic, nothing crazy at all. And me and two of my buddies were like, can we make a High Times magazine? And the teacher was like, all right. And we wrote an article and I had a picture of me from Winter Formal in 2007, as a sophomore. And I was in like a white suit, with salmon shirt and like salmon colored tie. So basically white and pink. And that was the picture that my buddy used for the article. And the article name was My Guy Mitch. That's my first name, or Mitchell. Whatever. We're sharing first names today. Isn't that special? Anyways, the article was My Guy Mitch. And it was a whole article about how I used cannabis for my glaucoma. And the teacher was cool with it. And it said it was like a hard copy, it was not hard copy that we got to make like in a printing thing, but it was like a binder. And all the pages of the binder were like laminated pages, and there was other articles into it. There was like, 10 or 12 pages of a whole bunch of other cannabis shit. But one of the pages was all like a story about me. I would have that, and I had that sitting on top of where my computer was in my entertainment thing. And I would have it. My dad would just get mad at me and you got to throw that thing away. It got thrown away. So.
Well, they can't throw out your memory of it, Mitch.
Right. I got
I'm
it.
sorry, Red Bill.
It's cool. You guys, I'm sharing things, So
yeah,
I'm
man.
happy to share
Thanks.
it. But I got expelled. This is in a whole different world where we had a ban on any electronic devices in our school. This isn't when might look young, but this is at the transition where there's no electronic devices in high school. And then after I'm out of school, a year later, kids are learning on tablets. But I got expelled my senior year for having pictures of weed plants on my phone. So my phone got taken for texting. Then went to one hand to another, and then there's no privacy thing, and teachers go, oh, let's see what we got here, and that whole thing. So yeah, pictures of my weed plants in high school is what got me expelled. Second to last, it was the last quarter of senior year too. So it was like just right before graduation. So anyone else got any tragedy to share?
I was just getting ready to say, has anybody else been had a 15 minutes of fame besides Cal being the body double for Vin Diesel? Has anybody else had a camera time or anything like that?
Dude, I was an extra for a little while. I was in the background of a couple of things. I don't know if you could see me actually, but I was there. I was in the presence of Harrison Ford and Lauren, what was her name? Lauren something. And you know Major Dad? I hung out with Major Dad on a set once.
Simon and Simon.
What was that Lauren? I forget what Lauren. I don't think it was Lauren Bacall. She's an old lady, right? I don't know, but some actress fell down. I helped her up. She fell down on the ice.
I've waited on a bunch of people. John Travolta.
You gave him a massage?
I was in the I was in the Bernie Mac movie, Mr. 3000, but that doesn't count because I was at Miller Park and there was a whole bunch of other people on the stage, but I was there for stands as the stage, but that doesn't count. No, as I said, you can't see me, but I was there for one of the filmings of it. We're all Hollywood actors, people. This is just a stage.
All the world's a stage.
Yeah.
Big.
I used to be on a #1 rated reality TV show.
Survival?
For 2 years. For 2 years. No, Dog the Bounty Hunter.
What? That beat
You got in trouble that much?
What's that?
Did he find you? He found you.
Yeah,
right?
You got in trouble that often?
Yeah, I was a regular, right?
They never found you, huh?
No, for a while there, I was only the guy at the end of the show that was taking them into the to jail when they would come into Colorado Springs. That's where I was stationed at the military. And my boss was actually the white-haired guy with the Gucci glasses, Bobby Brown. That was my boss. But yeah, I for let's see, season 2006 and the end of 2006 and the beginning of 2007, you'll see me on there quite often. Hell, there was one time where it was actually the highest rated episode that they had. We were going after a guy named Kelly Murphy, and he took off and crashed. He crashed his Jeep and rolled it in the equestrian field, and then you'll see me come up with even before all that happened in that episode, I'm in the beginning of it picking up a guy. Then you always hear, "Oh, we just got a call from the informant." That's me I'm the informant, because I'm already sitting on the next house where they're going to be going to after this house. And it's all real. I mean, there's no fake shit in there at all. But there's just a plan, they go and do their shit and they know where they're going after that if that person ain't there. So, we kind of get into positions and stuff, but there's been a few times where, like that episode, I was in the whole thing. I had Leland, Dwayne Lee in the back of my expedition. We went through the tunnels up in the equestrian field. We wind up meeting up with an informant, which was one of my what do you call them? Confidential informants.
Kess is a UC, man.
Yeah,
I'm scared now. He's a UC.
But yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. My wife thinks that I'm like some kind of secret agent, like I have some secret life.
Do you have a security? You have a security clearance. You have to show up at Langley in a few months.
Right. No, I do have a secret. Security clearance because the computer system that I worked on in the military, there was very few people that worked on it.
I lived in Colorado Springs for 6 years. I miss it.
Hey, Cass, you said you bred those hemp plants in Colorado. What do you got bred there? I'm curious to hear about that.
I didn't breed anything. Oh, Cass.
Yeah, dude, I'm trying to talk to the cute blonde, not you, bro.
I was stationed at Fort Carson in Colorado Springs for a while.
No, I was asking about your hemp seeds you were showing earlier.
Oh, these ones, yeah.
What's the strains he wants to know?
Yeah.
I haven't given them names yet, or released them to the public at all.
Well, we're releasing them now. We're asking.
It's a
No.
secret. Don't push it.
Secrets. Oh, shit.
Not ready to release them yet,
All right.
but I will.
All right.
What about an eagle?
Who's gonna make the strain called Crystals? That's what I want to know.
Chad.
Yeah, Chandler.
I just want to. What are you trying to find out of them, though?
Where'd it go?
You disappear.
We're
Magic
down
plants.
here.
Under the table.
Hello, my phone fell.
We're down here.
Down here. Hey, my phone fell. I don't
Made
know
me
how.
feel like I'm like Toy Story or something.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
That's exactly what it looked like.
I didn't drop any of my seeds in my hand though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
my
What are you
memory.
trying to find out of them? What's your goal with crossing them?
These ones, stabilization. Fully, like I think that they'll finally be really fun and helpful and do what they're supposed to do. That's what I think. This thing is crooked.
Yeah.
Do you think any of them are gonna pop over 0.3%?
Nope. These ones for honestly for several years I've been testing and all my stuff has been pretty good. Like it's been pretty good. So
Can you finish late or do you have to cut early?
usually it's a little earlier than some people. I want to push it, but you know, we're always constantly testing throughout so that way it's like my little report card so that I can see where I'm at. Like just test constantly. It's like monotony, you know, but it's important. It's like essential business. But I mean,
No, there's no plant count, right? So you're just limited to how many square feet or acres you can plant.
oh yeah, absolutely. As long as you get your planting reports in and you know you're communicating clearly with the Department of Ag, you know, you
Isn't
shouldn't have
testing
any issue.
expensive or no? So you get bulk rates or something?
I mean, yeah, it's a couple $100, you know, each round, each cultivar.
Farmer Freeman's doing a stimulus package right now. It's like 450 tests for $1,400.
That's probably cool for somebody. Hey, Cheddar Bob and Cass, we're gonna have a problem, aren't we? But so they were saying in chat to turn your phone sideways so like it'll get the wider view they're asking for. So just wanted to.
They want a wider view of me.
Yeah, dude. I don't know
Yes.
why, but apparently so. They're asking for more.
Well, you can see your plants. If you
They
do,
want
no?
more. They want more of Cass. They definitely don't want more of me.
They just added you
I think
in.
you were just rounded in.
Thanks for throwing me under the bus, Smiley. That's really But,
That's funny. We're just throwing him in there.
I have another hemp question. Do you see people doing steam distillation or testing the terpenes and seeing how much oils are there?
Hell yeah. People like and people have been doing that all over. People are doing everything with hemp. It's insane. I make jokes. I'm like, oh yeah, all I need is my CBD pillowcase with my hemp vibrator and I'm good to go. On my hemp pillow and this and that. Like it's like, you know.
vibrator.
No, yeah, there's like hemp's everything. Like I make a joke, like telling the industry like how far they go is just really silly. Like sometimes,
Yeah, you're that, Jim.
like, you know.
Do
Like,
they have hemp
sometimes it's-
condoms yet?
Huh?
Hemp condoms yet?
They probably do. Like they got lube. They got all kinds of crazy shit. I'm like, y'all really? It's
I wouldn't
admirable.
trust a biodegradable condom.
That's
But
what I think
honestly,
about.
I think as far as like terpene, like there's a lot of the company that I used to own in Colorado that I walked away from, we sold our terpenes. You could get private stock, which was our plant derived terpenes there, and then there's a lot of companies that are selling their own terps. And I mean, have you guys ever heard of that company, True Terpenes?
Yes.
Oh, I love that company. Do you guys like that company?
I don't know. They don't use all cannabis though, do they?
Know much about.
You can pick and choose what you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Maine. We have nothing.
Yeah, I never even had a bottle of terps ever in my hands.
The only thing, like, I'm more of like I guess looking at the end of the picture, the biggest, more of like a dreamer for that. And True Terpenes, I think, is just where it starts. Like, why I asked and what I think about is how we can engineer cannabis to have specific kind of terpene profiles. And a lot of cannabis has the ability to have more terpenes in abundancy than, like, let's say in lavender's sake, the number one terpene in lavender is linalool. But true lavender only yields between 1% and 2% essential oils, whereas you can engineer cannabis, maybe if it's CBD dominant or for sure THC dominant, there's plenty of evidence for. But if you, in these laws that we have right now, if you can still keep it under 0.3, but have real high amounts of CBD, which help the plant and have higher amounts of terpenes, if you can kind of engineer that to kind of replace botanicals that have real actual low yields, like santanol comes from sandalwood, and a lot of it comes from places where it's really hard to propagate sandalwood. And it's almost like, why do we have to grow sandalwood trees to have the world satisfied with all this sandalwood oil? Is there a solution to that? And then there is, through chemical organic chemistry, of finding a synthesized version of santanol. But then there would be also, if we could test strains that we think smell like sandalwood cannabis, and if they come with higher amounts of santanol in there than actual sandalwood trees, then you can save sandalwood trees by producing, hemp large scale and just getting the santanol from the steam distilled hemp rather than old ass or hard to cultivate, or places where we're not necessarily destroying them. But
Wait. Red pill, old ass has sentinel in it?
What has in it?
Old ass?
Did I say old ass?
Yeah, you did.
Sounded like it.
I don't know where I put that in.
You took, I think, old ass seeds maybe or something.
I meant you can't, right now you basically have to go into a forest that already has sandalwood in it. There's not a lot of people propagating sandalwood for essential oil. It's really hard to do. You got to wait till the trees get old. They do a certain thing to the soil where it only makes it worth growing sandalwood trees there. It's just not, there's not really a place for agriculture and sandalwood. And you could fix that. And this is just one example. If you did find cannabis strains that had more of a higher content than that specific terpene that people like so much in sandalwood. Like I said, the easier one would be lavender, because plenty of cannabis strains produce linalool, and a lot of them produce more linalool than actual lavender plants. So you could grow theoretically less lavender in the world and more hemp if you wanted more linalool. Like if the whole world's market needed more linalool for whatever perfumery or
any other on of that, yeah, for sure. Because you could harvest multiple things from it too. You could still get your high
strip out, yeah.
It's
fiber and your terpene.
It goes back to the Popular Mechanics magazine in 1935 that said hemp was the new $1 billion industry.
Is that when you got your first subscription to Popular Mechanics?
I was born in 1933. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it was the $1 billion industry, and like one of the Popular Mechanics things was hemp, the $1 billion industry.
Though, man.
Yeah, when that's back,
it replaced a lot of shit. It got shut down by a lot of shit, man. There's a ton of truth to that, especially when you consider even just the fact of ethanol production being based off corn. Just that alone, that farmland could be used for hemp, and it produces more ethanol than corn does. So right there,
And,
it's more
and corn
efficient.
is so susceptible to pests.
Yeah.
You have to grow GM, genetically modified corn. So now it's not just corn and all that acres and
It's
square
evil
miles.
corn.
Yeah.
Plus whatever shit they sprayed on it. I'm damn right,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just there's a lot of answers to a lot of different things, especially when we start exploring the different uses. So, like, actually deriving hemp cultivars that are, you know, like back in the day, the original industrial hemps were the long, skinny. They were made for the fiber, you know. So, I mean, we can start actually breeding, like what Red Pill's saying, even if it's just to find a certain terpene that fits the market, you know. And now instead of growing fields of lavender, we can grow fields of hemp, and we have all these other side benefits along with
Hempcrete, cheap
accomplishing the
hempcrete.
goal of what they were trying to do of making the lavender anyway, you know.
Mhm.
So it's pretty interesting thought for sure.
These are just crazy. I'll stop calling them crazy thoughts, but these are just what bounces around in my head. Either in recently, like kind of just when I watched the episode earlier, and maybe wanting to try to get more people to be open to if there RSO producers doing steam distillations as an intermediate in between the RSO. Or like I said, this hemp idea actually popped in my head from seeing one of those oil tankers, 18-wheeler oil tankers, and I'm Googling how much whatever oil is in those tanks. I'm like, how much would one of those tankers be worth if they were filled with cannabis terpene? Like not hemp, but just like, our whatever THC high demand hyped terpenes. If that whatever tanker was filled with those. And how Cass mentioned true terpenes, the numbers in this equation that I built off of was when Blue River or Tony Verzura was around. And I think the measurement was like $60 or $70 for 0.2 milliliters. And if you extrapolate that to what I figured out would, if you could cultivate varieties that were like freak show varieties that had 9 or 10% terpenes, it would take 94 acres of planting in 1 square foot. Forget the number of plants it is, that's millions of plants, but 94 square acres of planting in square foot hemp plants, I guess, ideally from stable seed stock that had 10% terpenes. That would yield enough to fill one of those tankers. And if you went all the way up, obviously it'd be worth less and less as bulk and as wholesale. But if you went all the way up from $60 for 0.2 milliliters, it came out, and I did the math over and over and over and over again to make sure. But 94 acres of that expensive terpenes would come out to $18 billion. Just the terpenes, nothing else, none of the other byproducts that come away from that.
What numbers did you use?
So like I said, the 10%
terps.
10% terps with however many plants based on square footage fills 94 acres. And that was all, I forget the magic number of what one of those tankers holds, but I just did the equivalent of that. If it's like 15,000 gallons, how do you get 15,000 gallons of terps? Well, you need 94 acres of millions of plants that have 10%.
Yeah, but I mean, how are you getting your $1 billion price range?
I just said the blue terpene or the Blue River, he was selling 0.2 milliliters for $60. So if you brought that price all the way up, that's why I said it wouldn't be that, because it would be bulk and wholesale at that point if you're shipping tankers across the country. But at that retail market for just $60 for 0.2, if you figure out what that would be worth, 15,000 gallons.
Is there demand like that for that?
No, there's not.
I have no idea.
I would.
That's why
no one wants. And here's no one wants 15,000 gallons of terpenes. So here's my whole theory on that. Like, they don't need to be that expensive. You don't need to pay $60 for 0.2 milliliters, which I can't do the math in my head. Where most essential oils, it's based on how the value is based on per liter, right? Like rose essential oil not absolute, actual rose steam distilled essential oil, is worth anywhere between how much demand there is on the market, between like $7,000 and $8,000. What I mentioned before, the Hawaiian sandalwood.
For 1 liter.
Yes, for 1 liter. The Hawaiian
Damn.
sandalwood is even more. It's $13,000 per liter.
Yeah, but if you have every Yahoo that can grow cannabis doing steam distillation, then
We're not there yet, though. I could do this theoretically if someone had the funding. I could do this starting. It's too late this year, but next year here in Wisconsin.
Well, now the cat's out of the bag. Everybody's going to do it. No,
My bad.
Aren't they already?
There's a lot of groundwork left to be made, because I know there's no hemp varieties that produce 10% essential oils.
Some of them are doing it, though. I'm pretty sure, Cass. Already.
Here's Mendo
that's
Dope.
I don't know. I want to say for sure.
Mendo
but
Dope
I
in
didn't-
chat.
Are there many cultivars getting 10% terpenes anyways?
No,
that's what he said.
What you have to do
Even
is
still though, if you could pull it in harvest and have something with a 3% terpene, I'm sure.
Then if it's 3% terpenes, and instead of 94 acres, you need 94
you don't get
times
the full
3.
tanker full. You only get half the tanker full.
Well, that's 94 acres. If plant count, if plant count isn't a problem, and it's just about how much money we got to work with, how much land we can get. Even if you're working with 3% terpenes in a final yield, instead of growing 94 acres, you would grow 270 acres and come up with the same tanker.
I think the biggest hurdle for all the stuff, even like the plastics derived from hemp, I think just the biggest hurdle is getting it where the farmer, like if I'm a farmer and I own the farmland, I'm trying to plant something that I know where the fuck it's going at the end of the season, right? Like I don't want to plant that and be like, oh fuck, nobody's gonna buy this shit. So like when you look at the market for that, there's like
and the price
demand for it has to be there. Like that's what I'm getting to is like for the farmer to want to grow hemp, there has to be a market for it, and for there to be
this is what I mean. This is when I came up. I'm dating myself. I'm dating myself when I reference Blue River. This is, 6 years ago when I came up with this. And my whole thing was I was scared that he was going to take over what we're talking about, the market. And yeah, there is a huge market for not just hemp-derived terpenes, not plant-derived terpenes, but true Girl Scout cookies and Tangy and gelato and GMO. People want those terpenes in mass. And no one wants to spend $60 for 0.2 milliliters, when if I were to be able to do this, I could sell you 60 milliliters for $2. You know what I mean?
And still have the biomass. So that I like the idea, because you would have a market.
There's a million products I can make from it after there. Take the stalks and make
biomass. Yeah.
Make hempcrete from the stalks. There's still money to take off. And that whole process, did I forget to mention, is only the terpenes. So I have 94 acres of all that cannabinoids. And then there goes my pen market, my cream market, my topical market, my gummies market, soda or infused drinks market. There's all that.
I want a hemp farm, man. I got some opportunity maybe with a friend. So neither one of us are farmers though, but he owns a tractor, so we're halfway there.
Do it.
That's all you need.
He's got some land. He's like, I don't know, man. He's a cool ass dude too.
Processing part is the most important aspect of it, Smiley. The processing and getting everything dried properly. Growing it, no problem.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just thinking like out loud. So even if it's 1 acre, that's 1,800 plants. You know what I'm saying? I got to come up with seeds somehow and figure out getting them out there. And
is that a square foot? Is 1,800 plants in an acre square foot?
That's about, I think it's on a 3-foot spacing with a 6-foot in between rows.
Oh, okay, so it'd be even more square footage. I based this number on, you would, like I say, 94 acres of canopy, basically. But there'd be lanes and rows in between.
Yeah. I think that's pretty, I don't know, maybe Cass probably knows more about it. She's doing it.
I came up with very specific numbers, and this besides just me being red pill and telling people about this in a private chat, this is the first time I'm talking to 100 people about it. So
if you need seeds, let me know. I consult with a lot of hemp farms in Southern Oregon that have excellent seed stock, and I can get anything you need, really.
That'd be cool, man.
Yeah, they were talking about distilling out the terps on Hash Church like 3 or 4 episodes ago, and how they figured out, they obviously figured out how to do it, but I think they figured out an easier way or some shit.
Yeah, I mean they've been distilling terps for a long time, adding it back and stuff.
Steam distillation comes from the alchemists. It's like 500 years old as far as true steam distillation goes. It goes further back into like the Middle East, and Iraq was the first person to ever do it. But where people started doing it is
the Anunnaki taught them.
Yes, Kokoboel, or one of the 20 angels in the Book of Enoch, who taught plant medicines.
There you go.
Hemp grows and looks just like cannabis, and dude, they're beautiful. Some of the strains and varieties now in hemp are just amazing. I'm thrilled. I think actually hemp is going to outperform the THC plants. Pretty much.
What do you mean by outperform?
The market will be so much bigger.
Oh yeah,
there'll be more of them growing too.
Yeah.
I think there will be just anyway, with because you can grow it anywhere. Like even red states, you can grow the hemp. You get your permit or your license, and there's fields of hemp in red states.
Yeah, there's fields of hemp on Long Island.
Southern Oregon, you get
I gotta go visit.
To a certain point about Mid Oregon. There's on I-5. There's hemp fields just everywhere.
That's why there's going to be food shortages in the upcoming years. Everyone's switching to hemp.
I guess you could eat it, but I don't know how nutritious it is.
I eat it.
Oh, man, it's a fucking healthy feed for livestock. It's like
the seeds
it can replace bedding. Like hay is like a really horrible thing too for raping lands, because it's it goes on and on. The uses really do go on and on. It's crazy. It's mind-blowing that it's not a concept that people are even like the people in the world where they could actually use it or do something. It's like,
they're not making
even anything in their universe, dude. Like they don't even think that way at all.
Right.
Like, not even.
And now they're making hemp graphene.
They're starting it. Yeah, dude, I saw that.
That could be a game changer right there, dude.
Yep.
The other one I think that's a real game changer for hemp is the fucking the biodegradable plastic shit that they make from them. Because there's a company right here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, that they have the technology to make it, and their biggest issue is to have the
people accept it.
Yeah, like the product to be able to make it, because it requires a certain size pulp of the I don't remember.
Yeah, well, Smiley, I don't want my my cup of soda at the bottom to fall out because it's biodegradable or some shit.
I don't give a fuck, dude, if it's being made out of hemp and it ain't plugging up landfill.
I'm only joking.
How's that not a win?
And garbage bags.
Yeah,
well, they had
drink it faster, Tao.
Yeah,
why hasn't because they had biodegradable plastic bags, and why isn't that used everywhere?
Yeah, well,
not even
a lot of countries have outlawed them though, and I think California and certain states have outlawed.
Yeah, we got all. We went back to paper bags
and shit. Yeah,
paper straws. Yep.
That's a game changer, man, for real. You think of disposable plastics, if you could replace all disposable plastics with something biodegradable and made from
that would save the world. That garbage island out in the ocean,
it'd be degraded by now.
Right, it would be right. Yep.
And if it was in the fish, it'd be healthy for them. Fuck.
Yeah. All right, start to change the world, Smiley. You're on that one.
All right, yeah.
Red Pill's going to be getting 94 acres of hemp going.
Bringing it.
Fish do have endocannabinoid systems.
Going to be flooding the market with terpenes.
Terpene-infused biodegradable plastics, dude.
Free OG terps for anyone that wants them. How's that a bad thing?
Eat the cup after you're done and tastes good because of the terps.
Have you ever wanted to bathe in a tub of OG terps?
Dude, when I spilt my coconut oil when I was infusing it, I freaking lathered myself up pretty good.
You'd probably get some hives or something.
Eagle
Oh.
got high from freaking slapping it on his skin and his hands and shit.
That was the butter.
Oh, I felt
Letting
it.
the
Yeah.
butter fucking run down my arms and shit. I got high as shit. High as shit.
My wife-
Losing it.
My wife was making butter one time, and I told her to put gloves on. She's like, "No, I don't have to." She doesn't really use cannabis at all. And man, she got her hands all lathered up in oil, butter, and about 2.5 hours later, she was out on the couch.
There's certain parts in your body where it'll go in easier. Like they say that forearm, your forearm area, like behind, they say it'll absorb into your skin quicker there, and other places that
in your bingus, I mean your bunghole.
yeah,
Or
and your
your
taint,
bingus.
for real. I wasn't gonna say that, but like, yeah, they say like your taint
Poofing.
is freaking absorbable.
You know, there is another thing somebody you guys mentioned about eating them too, like the hemp seed. Hemp actually is one plant that makes there's like 3 omega fatty acids that it'll make in its seed too.
We
So
used
it's
to
like
get our
super health. It's like a superfood, dude. It's a
You could
superfood.
survive on hemp seed alone, they say.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
what
it's got
the
enough
Chinese-
protein in it and all that shit. Like, yeah.
That's what the Chinese originally used it for, like 10,000 years ago. They used the
Yeah.
seeds as a food source, like chia seed or quinoa or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
you guys think about it. You can sprout it. You can make milk out of it. You can make condiments out of it. You can make cheeses out of it. I mean, it's really ridiculous the amount. Like I said, it doesn't end what you can do with hemp
It's
ever.
magic. It's freaking insane.
I was actually just about to ask you if it's true that the hemp industry, the number one thing that they want to actually grow hemp for is seed production, but everyone's worried about pollinating all the other cannabis grows. Even though hemp seed is what theoretically what the market is has the least
it's the feminization.
production.
You want to know my opinion on that as a hemp farmer? If you come to me as a marijuana farmer, I'm going to tell you that if you go to the Department of Ag and you ask the Department of Ag that you are upset that I pollinated your crop, they're going to tell you that you made a conscious decision to put your crop where you put it. That is your conscious decision.
That's good. So make more hemp seeds, right?
It's a problem.
So,
They're doing it in Canada.
Cass, is
I'm pretty
that,
damn
do you
sure.
not pull males?
What
Are you
you're
guys
saying
are you
is
guys
go
producing
fuck
seed?
yourself.
It's
Yeah, go fuck
feminization
yourself.
is the problem. All right. And that's what when I worked at Jupiter Seed, that was the biggest problem. All right. They were trying to make feminized hemp seed. Why? Because if you make regular hemp seed, half of your crop's going to be gone. So you lose half your acreage, right? So they want feminized. Well, feminized seeds, if you don't do them right, especially depending on the strain, can hermaphrodite badly. And then you get it spread. And this stuff will go everywhere. I mean, it's a huge problem in Southern Oregon anyway. All right. It's a huge problem.
I think it's unstoppable.
Here's the thing. I made a pretty good living there for a while last summer, consulting with outdoor hemp growers and telling them the only way you're going to get stability in your product is to use a clone and grow it indoors. And I sold probably 150 HLG lights to this one guy that
For
had
cloning operation.
No, it was, dude, he grew them indoors. He cloned them and then grew. They don't want to use clones outdoors because the rodents you don't have that taproot, you see? And so you can have problems with rodents and pests. But indoors, not only do you control the strain and what you're growing as far as the FDA or the feds testing it, right? But you can rotate it, right? Stephen at HLG invested in a indoor hemp farm that's RDWC, and they rotate that monthly, and it's just a big, beautiful. I mean, in the indoor hemp, I was just like, wow, And you use indoor lighting like HLGs or Spider Farmers or whatever, but you also use these tubes that come through the ceiling that have automatic on and off shutters on them. So you supplement the outdoor lighting with the indoor lighting, and you can just rock it with the hemp. All right.
I wish we could find a investor that had Foxconn money. If anyone knows what Foxconn is, it's where your iPhones used to be made before they had to move here to where I'm at. Their old building was like a slave labor facility that they had to have suicide nets hanging on the outside because of how many people jumped out of the building. Well, anywho, here where I'm at, they built one of the world's largest facility plants in the world, right? Pretty much right in my neighborhood. And I'm wondering if anyone's got that kind of money to do like what you're saying, and like basically indoor hemp cultivation, especially dedicated to what I said, high terpene hemp, basically THC-less high terpene.
Are you sure they shut down Foxconn?
Can I say something? Can I say something about growing hemp clones outside? Okay. For 4 consecutive years in Colorado, I grew hundreds of acres of industrial hemp clones outside planted fields. Our fields. One tip for you, Bingus: plant your clones in the evening time because soil temperature goes up too high, and then your hemp clones die. I've also had my hemp clones go completely underwater, watched my ex run outside screaming, "Oh my God, everything's gonna die," because they were like under a few feet of water. I just sat inside and hung out and, ate some whatever. But yeah, so long story short, yes, hemp clones can be planted by tractor. Have a few people walk behind the tractor just to kind of poke them in, and make sure that everybody's all right. Plant them at night. Make sure your soil temperature is proper. Make sure you guys know everything else about your pHs and all that other fun stuff. But just outdoors, I see a lot of people's biggest mistake is their disregard for the soil temperature. But yes, I have planted entire fucking crop circles of little baby clones about this tall, and yes, the rodents love to eat the shit out of them. I've actually had the most amount of my plants eaten further closer, like the field mice. They suck, they're always closest to like what gets warm and shit like that, your damn water arm and stuff. But they get eaten, it is what it is. There's stuff to deter them, but at the end of the day, it's still the profit margins were there. Goals were met. There's a lot of paperwork that goes into it. Just make sure your planting reports are done, your harvest reports are done. You got these little windows that suck. I feel like a lot of the people that make these rules have never farmed a freaking daisy in their life. But absolutely, don't disregard the soil, Tim.
All right, dude. Very good points. The guys that I've been working with, like 650 acres, and they use automatic planters, right? And they just had trouble with clones, and they would only do seeds.
I do see. Yeah. I like, you see all this, like.
Yeah, that's great. But I agree with it can be done. You just have to be more diligent, and it gets harder. The bigger the acreage, the harder it gets. You know what I mean?
Yo, I'll round up the damn stray cats for you guys
and
send them over.
I do have a question for Bingus and Cass. And
yes, sir.
Do you either individually or have people that doing anything in Wisconsin?
Nope, not that I know.
See, because I don't know if you guys know, during World War II, for a very short time, the U.S. Military allowed the planting for hemp, for fiber and such, and they used 2 different states, Wisconsin and Kentucky.
Okay, now I have a question for Cass. How big is your field, Cass? Or can you say?
Right now?
Yeah.
As big as it is.
Okay. All right. So I just was curious. Anyway, the larger you get, the more trouble you run into. I mean, a lot of these guys have tractors that are the size of houses. You know what I mean? It's big.
Yeah. So the loss to mice though must be like you could just count that in to the numbers, no? If you have that much.
Exactly, but they try to cut all the corners if they can.
They try to max everything too. Yeah, I'm sure. Because
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to,
You do get to a certain point where you're so big that you really are taking out a lot of the profit margin, right? Because even if you have damage to a certain percentage of your field, your production it costs to make all that stuff is still underweighing the amount of harvest you get, whatever you get at the end of the crop, right?
Right.
peace out, Cheddar Bob.
The guy I was working with too in Southern Oregon, Sovereign Farms, you can check him out. He was getting hit with the feds for testing too, and so he was, you know, he wanted to know how he can maintain consistency. I figured, well, he clones, man. You know what I mean? And he actually owned a 650 acre, used to be a milking farm. So he took one of the barns and he turned it into the indoor, right? But he didn't go RDWC. He used dirt. I'm not even sure what. I think he made his own, and he did really well. He did better indoors than he did outdoors in comparison. You know what I mean? But 650 acres, the guy's a multimillionaire. I mean,
I was just gonna say,
yeah,
I'm trying to wrap my head around that amount, and like I threw out the number 94. 94 is minuscule to 650, and I was talking about in the billions on a terpene market scale. If we're going to value terpenes at hundreds of dollars per milliliter, which there's no need for that. When you do that kind of production, you're lowering that.
The price probably came down.
You're literally stomping on Tony Rizura's balls if you do that. You know what I mean?
Red Pill, the price probably came down since you made those calculations, I would imagine.
No, because
how long ago was it?
Well, it doesn't matter how much time's gone between. No one's done what I'm talking about yet. There's
still not a lot of terps saying. Yeah.
I like the fact that Cass is able to use clones though, because there's way more control over the end result.
No, I start with seed.
Do you take clones? You said you were using clones sometime.
Yeah, but I mean those clones come from a plant that started from a seed.
Right.
Well, every clone does, Cass. I mean, not to be a wise ass.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, using the clones outside, do I direct sow the dirt into the dirt? The seeds, no. Hell no.
So do you like phenohunt your seeds and find the one you like to clone?
Yeah, I already spent a few years doing that with the hemp. Now I have, a few buckets and a few little baggies that I really like.
Right. It's a big industry. It's just so excellent that people are getting into it. Quite frankly, I think.
Yes. How when you harvest the hemp, what is it primarily used for? Are you guys turning it into crude, or is it?
Well, the reason that I'm sprouting this is because it all has a contract and a buyer. I wouldn't have planted it. I wouldn't have sprouted the seed unless I already had a buyer for it. That's, number one. Number two, it's all going to be processed into oil that the buyer wants. So in that case, which is crude oil.
I would just ask because like some are growing like for smokable flour or like fiber production or different things. So
that's what I was just getting ready to say.
And I was going to say the fiber people don't care about the males at all, right? They could just use those stalks. They may even be better than males for fiber.
It actually, if I'm not mistaken, the males are actually what they want the fibers from. The fibers on the male are more harder and coarse, so they want those for like bags and when they make concrete and stuff like that. So that was what I was going to try and bring back to that whole problem with how people get their stuff seeded and this big, hemp and versus THC and getting it cross-pollinated. And Cass is right. They will tell you that, and this hemp field over here is a, big,
legit,
big company on the map. It's here. And if you plant within the range of, you're going to get your plants screwed if there's a male, then it falls on you. But there really needs to be that. It's more the, I think it needs to be more the responsibility of the individual growing in the area to know, hey, if you're going to plant outdoors, if you're downwind from Joe Blow up here that's got hemp field, there's a good possibility you're going to be affected.
Yeah, like I said, the Department of Ag is going to tell you that you made a conscious decision to put your crop there.
So, Cass, does all your hemp plants end up getting seeded?
Yeah, that's why a lot of them I put into oil, this crop specifically. I do have some fields that are smaller in more private locations that I select very carefully to make sure that they are so far away from anyone and everything and all the other companies, like way, way, way out there.
Right.
That,
Now,
like I said, I make a conscious decision to put my crop there so that it doesn't get
right.
seeded.
So you know. Now, does the hemp seed oil come out when you process it? Or
Oh, some people process for like hemp seed oil. Yeah, some people do that. I don't do that. I'm
no,
talking about using the alcohol extraction and making a crude oil.
That
right.
was
So
going to be the
the
next
hemp,
question.
but
If
my
it's
question is,
alcohol or CO2 extracted.
the hemp seed oil though, that's in the seed, does it come out when you use the alcohol? Like, does the hemp seed oil come out of the seed
Do you
in
remove
your
the
product?
seeds? Do you remove the seeds before you do the alcohol
I'm
extraction?
sure she doesn't.
You
No.
don't seed a hemp crop that's going to be.
No, I shove a mass. It looks like it's like think of a shine still, and you're shoving massive amounts in there. You know.
I can imagine that. Yeah. But
If
that's
I
what I
want to
mean.
like, there's
I
fields
just,
that are specifically for seed, and those ones, you know, I'll take
But I'm
the
saying,
seed
like,
out.
your oil isn't getting contaminated with hemp seed oil is my question, really.
No,
Or is it? Okay.
there's usually hemp seed growers, and then there's usually hemp oil growers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're
Yeah,
missing the
there's
point. I'm
like I
saying her
said, there's
shit gets
different fields
seeded.
for different
Yeah.
different things. Like it depends on which field is used for what. You know what I mean? There's different fields. Like there's a like they say, there's a time and a place, but there's different fields for different things. Like each one has their reasoning and their purpose, and you know, and like I said, that I made a conscious decision to put certain ones in certain places. You know.
do you know any of these people that make primarily crude oil, if they would want to do a steam distillation run as an intermediate, collect terpenes, and then still do a run that doesn't lower the yield of any oil that they'd normally be producing? Because now you have two products.
I want to say, like, aren't people already doing that steam distillation on that?
There's the companies that they pretty much have a very high tech methodology, so they're going to be able to incorporate whatever you want them to do. At least the ones that I'm familiar with, and they have great big. I mean, they're huge facilities. So I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest. But the CO2 thing, I mean,
For Indrid went out.
The CO2 extraction, I've had some of that. That's what I use myself on a crude hemp oil that I take. We combine 3 hemp plants together to get a very high CBD, and then I use that oil. I take a gel cap every 3 days now, and it's very beneficial, extremely beneficial. And you can make it more pure. I mean, distill it down. But I find that the crude oil, for me anyway, seems to work best because it has a widest spectrum of things within it. So it's a big industry as far as the oil goes. And then you also have to be careful where you drop your stuff off to have it processed, because you really don't know. You know what I mean? They can kind of siphon off a little bit and keep it for themselves. So,
do you want to know the worst thing I ever had happen to me from a processor, besides getting absolutely okay, so the worst thing I ever had happen to me with a processor was they
Straight up
literally
robbed.
This one, they mixed my oil with another hemp farm's oil, and I had better terpenes than them. They had no terps. They had shit oil, and I was so pissed. It was like cutting my oil. You know what I mean? So my numbers, I was like,
yeah.
That's what pissed me off the most.
Well, they can pull all kinds of shit to increase their profitability, is what they're trying to do. And you have to really know, you have to have a reliable place to do it.
If you're trusting anybody.
A lot of where my terpene knowledge comes from is the #1 certifier in certifying organic essential oils that they haven't been diluted or mixed with synthetically derived. He's at the University of Indiana. He has done hemp work in Kentucky and other stuff too. So,
Well, dude, they even this other company, this other farm, they didn't even have other cannabinoid profiles really. Like my cannabinoid profiles at the time, nobody else really had them. And so it really upset me that not only did they get my terps, they also got my different cannabinoid profiles, which they didn't have. So I was like, and they, what did they have to offer me in return? Nothing. I was like, oh my gosh, it was kind of like your clone trade story the other day. I was like, but this was like, I didn't sign up for it. You know what I mean? All I asked was them to process into crude oil. And like my partner, ex-partner and I, we immediately decided we're processing our own stuff that day. And from then on, we processed our own stuff.
So is there a night and day difference if you want to be a hemp processor, obviously, and a cannabis processor? There's only certain states you can do that in. You can do it in all 50 states, right, for hemp?
The funnest difference is the regulations. They're so much nicer on the hemp side.
And do they somewhere in like in a red state where it's only hemp production is legal, do they have anyone that's doing hydrocarbon extracts for hemp?
I don't know.
What? Can you repeat that question, please? Sorry, I'm getting some of you guys' questions confused.
I'm sorry, but in my state, Wisconsin, there's no medical, there's no recreational, but there are people producing hemp. And my whole thing was, what are those guidelines that you have to go through to become a processor in a state like this, where I'm not worried about the legal holes I got to go through to do cannabis extracts. If I wanted to do hydrocarbon in this case, like, do they give those? Is there a license or a permit that they give for people in only hemp producing states that use hydrocarbons, or is there totally not a single person in all the hemp industry doing extraction? Here
in Texas, if you want to get a hemp processor's license, or in a lot of other states, you go to the Department of Ag, you tell them what you want to do, call them up. Because of COVID, a lot of them aren't meeting in person and do a lot of stuff over the phone. And so it's not much money, to be honest. It's a lot less than a lot of the marijuana side. Like here in Texas, it's really cheap. It's $500. For a processor's license to grow, I mean, it's $500. But the processor's license, it's really cheap. A lot of this stuff, it's a lot compared to the cannabis licensing. Hemp licensing is like fractions.
Yeah.
So I hate to be the party pooper here, but I know it's even short of 420. But I have barely held on this long night. And I want to thank this amazing panel for holding it down tonight, especially Small Eyes Gardens, double shifting it tonight, pretty much holding it down in the wormhole and the spotlight tonight. I can't thank you guys enough. You know, you guys make it a great place to be night after night. And I can't thank you enough for being part of it and hanging out. It's a special thing we got going here, and it's growing constantly. And thanks.
Thank you, Eagle.
Yeah, thank you, Eagle.
I love being able to come in.
We love you, boy.
All you, man.
Bro.
Did a great job.
Yeah, thank you, Cass, too, for answering all those questions.
Yeah, sorry if I got them confused. Thank you all for having me here. It's nice to talk grow with you guys. I mean, some of us actually do like to talk about dirt all the time. We actually have to do stuff. But I hope you guys have a good night, and thank you so much, Eagle. And I'm gonna say good night, and I hope you guys have a good one. Have a blessed night, everyone.
You too, Cass.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on here too. I'm gonna jump out of here. Bingus, Tao, Red Pill, Cass, Eagle, everybody. Thanks for having me on here. And I'm trying to be a more familiar face on here more often. But thanks for having me on here, guys.
Right on, brother.
Good to see you, Cass. Now I got it now.
Good to see you feeling better too.
You're never gonna catch me. Sorry. Yeah, thanks, man. I'm out of here. Much love to everybody.
Peace out, Bingus.
Much love. Keep up the good work.
You know how awkward I get if I'm the last one in here, so I'm out too.
Peace out, Red Pill.
Yeah, peace
I was
out.
laughing when I beat you to it the other night, Red Pill. I was like,
I'm gonna get Red Pill's name on the last comic standing at the next show they do.
I need my name on the Comedy Store wall. It's a bucket list. But shout outs Eagle. Yeah, you did another great night. Smiley too, pulling it through. And thank you, Tao, everyone else that was in the chat, Cass, for answering all the hemp questions, everyone else in the chat that was staying tuned and interested. I just blabber on. I don't even know if anything I say is interesting. So thanks, Eagle, for letting me be here. Otherwise, I would just be pacing around my basement, doing dabs and thinking all the same things to myself.
yeah, no, it's cool, man.
Yep.
It's
All right, guys.
Shit, for sure.
Peace.
Peace out, Red Pill.
You going, Tao? Or am I going?
I'll go. I'll let you whatever. All right, Eagle and Smiley, everyone in chat. It's it's always good hanging with you guys. And it's almost always fucking awesome talking shit with Eagle. No, it always is, Eagle. No matter what happens, I love being here and hanging out with you, dude. And so does everybody else.
I appreciate that, man. I really do.
All right, bud. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.
Oh yeah, man. It's always good, Eagle. It was fun tonight hanging out with Kino. So hope your week starts off good, brother.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Means a lot, man.
Oh yeah.
Means a lot.
Tomorrow's a new day. Always is. Let's see it, bro.
Well, will probably be another super awkward ending. I've had just the longest day ever, and it's whatever. I owe everybody a big apologies for 2 nights in a row, no shout outs, but I'll see you guys tomorrow late. Wormhole. You guys have a good night. Random acts of kindness do save lives. You guys have been mine for a very long time. I love you guys. Have a great day. I'm out.